Lighting for Profits, the #1 landscape lighting show in the world. Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
I have no idea what's going on, guys. This could be a major fiasco.
To Lighting for Profits, your #1 source for all things landscape lighting. Powered by Emery Allen. From lighting design, install, sales, and marketing.
And almost like, okay, is this where I get beat up in front of my friends? Like, what's going to happen?
We discuss everything you need to know to start and grow a successful landscape lighting business.
That's what I like.
Now, here is your host, Ryan Lee.
All right. I'm Ryan Lee, the host of still the #1 landscape lighting show in the world. That's right, Lighting for Profits, powered by Emery Allen. Thank you to Chris Rios for that wonderful intro. He still is the strongest man I know, and pretty sure he's the strongest man in Kansas. So don't go to Kansas unless you got him as your friend. So listen, if you are looking to start or grow a landscape lighting business, then you're definitely in the right place. And we are here, and we're going to have an awesome show in the green room. We're going to call it the green room. We've got Tommy, the effing lighting geek Herren. I just added that. I don't know if I can do that, but it's the lighting geek. That's right. The lighting geek. He's been on TV, and I was talking to him the other day, and like I'd been on TV before, but it was just like the back shoulder and you had to like pause it at the right time to see it. But he's a real superstar. So he's done a lot for the landscape lighting industry, and I'm excited to have him back on the show in just a couple minutes. So make sure you guys stick around for Tommy, the lighting geek Herren. And as always, guys, I got to thank you so much for your support. I love what I'm doing. It's an absolute blast, and it could not be a thing. Like I would have given up a long time ago if only 5 of you were like watching and listening. So thank you so much. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And if you're here live, let us know. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. And let's see who we got. What's up, Paul? Good to see you, brother. We got Paul Goslin in the house. And if you're listening to the show after, that's great. I'm grateful for you as well. So listen to the podcast. And listen, some of these guests, they're so good. You're going to want to listen to the episode multiple times. So don't be ashamed. What's up, Rob? What's up, Mike? Good to see you guys. It's kind of fun hanging out, but maybe what we got to do is we got to figure out how to do a session where we get all of us on the video. Because I think with my updated and upgraded subscription, I can have like up to 10 guests at once. So that just came to me. So what's up, Shoop? Shoop day whoop. And by the way, reminder, I'm going to keep reminding this for just a couple more weeks. Go to lightingforprofits.com so you can subscribe to the new channel since I broke up with the Turfs Up. And if you go on to, I think it's Apple and Spotify, you can actually give us a review. So do that and be awesome. This week, as just a kind of last announcement, I'm going to be, this Thursday afternoon, I'm flying to Nashville, and I'm going to be at Clipicon, which is a Christmas light conference and training. And I get to speak from the main stage. So going to be up there spreading the word about landscape lighting, how to raise your price, of course, how to close more deals, and how to light the world one home at a time. So what's up, Mike Long, Truth Seeker, Tom Garber, good to see you. Actually, speaking of Tom Garber, I want to thank Emery Allen for their support. They've been behind me pretty much from the get-go. They reached out early on and said, hey, what can we do to support you? We want to be a part of what you're doing. So grateful. And listen, you guys know this. So it's not like new information, but nothing hurts a quality landscape lighting install quite like flickering bulbs, a yellow fringe around the perimeter of the beam spread, or bulbs that burn out after a few on and off cycles. Don't jeopardize your customer's experience by using a budget bulb. If you want to go out of your way to provide a world-class customer experience, choose Emery Allen. At the end of the day, it's what's on the inside that counts. Take advantage of Emery Allen's world-class customer service and 10% off your first order for new clients. All you guys have to do is email Tom Garber. Now, his email is very easy, tomg@emeryallen.com. Just email him, tomg@emeryallen.com. And reminder to you guys that they offer discounted contractor pricing. So you can go to their website. And I realized this just the other day. I've been sending people to their website. Well, you can go to their website. That's great. But really just email tomg@emeryallen.com, because he'll get your account set up. He's going to get you the best pricing, the contractor pricing. And for listeners of Lighting for Profits, make sure you mention Lighting for Profits when you email him. He's going to give you 10% off your first order. So go ahead and do that. And, let's support the industry. They're supporting me. They're allowing this show to happen. So I'm super grateful. And Tom is a super nice guy, you guys. Super nice guy. Probably, I don't know. I was trying to think, is he in the top 5 nicest guys I know? Maybe top 10. No, he's actually really nice. Probably top 5. But here's the thing. You know what? Nice guys, they're not usually good at sales, right? And so it's like, hey, I'm Tom Garber. I'm Emery Allen. It's like, that's not good, Tom. So I'm going to be the sales guy. I'm going to be like in your face, like, let's go. Try them out. And I'm not really a nice guy, right? So Tom's the nice guy. I'm the guy that's like, just try it out. And I would say this, whether it's Emery Allen or any other manufacturer, buy some product, try it at your own house, test it out, see what you think. If high CRI is important to you and quality bulbs, like they said, it's what's inside that counts. So you guys are trying to, cut corners on bulbs and you're buying $100 fixtures. Sometimes that doesn't make sense. So go check them out. Again, you can go to their website, emeryallen.com, or even better, go tomg@emeryallen.com. Just shoot them an email. And is that in Canada too? I believe so. The US, Canada, it's kind of connected. I have no idea, but I'm just going to say yes. So get with them, and I think we're only against a handful of countries, and I don't think Canada is one of them. I don't know. Find out from Tom. So like I said, guys, today we're going to have Tommy, the lighting geek, on, and in just a minute, I'm going to make him wait in the private back room, green room that is virtual, because we are here live in Orem, Utah, and he is there live in, I think, Sacramento, California. I actually didn't ask him where he's at today. So, but I want to share something real quick. A lot of people ask me about sales. It's like my superpower. Okay. I'm not good at a lot of things, but the one thing I'm really good at is sales. And so, I get people on the phone, they reach out to me. They're like, hey, I listen to the show. Can you help me out? Sure. Get on the phone with me. They go to my website, schedule an appointment, whatever. We get on there and I get a lot of questions like, man, I had one the other day. I'm not joking. He's like, what's the magic phrase? Like when I'm going to sell someone, like what's the magic words? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, is there a magic phrase? I don't know. And everyone asks me for sales, but they don't realize that the problem that you're experiencing today started long before it was actually exposed as a problem. Okay. And by the way, this is true for not just business. This is true for health, wealth, love, and happiness. All those 4 pillars of our life, right? Health, wealth, love, and happiness. It applies to all of them. When you are overweight and out of shape like me, which I'm still skinny, but I got this gut now and everything else, got all these problems. These problems didn't happen today. It's not like I feel super fatigued because of something I did today. This was 10, 20 years of bad eating and bad lifestyle, right? Wealth, if you're poor today, it wasn't because of one decision you made today. It's because of bad decisions for the last 10 years. If you're wealthy, it wasn't because of one decision today, right? So the problems that we have are a direct correlation of our past. And so I wanted to give you guys some tips real quick. Really my 10 steps to successful selling. Okay. And I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to get down into the nitty gritty, but what I'm probably going to do is do like a full breakdown on this. Cause I could really give you guys some tips on this, but I'm going to at least give you the high level, the top 10 things you need to be doing if you want to be good at sales. And honestly, here's the key, guys. When this person was asking me like, what's the magic thing to say? I went and looked up their website. Well, they didn't have a website. So that's one problem. They were getting leads from low quality lead generation sites. And so here's the key to sales. This is the secret. This is the key. Are you ready? Do you want to know? Okay. Get in front of people who already want what you offer. It's not that hard. Get in front of people who already want what you offer. Most of us are trying to sell something to someone who's not qualified. They don't really want what we have. And again, I could be really good at sales, but if I'm in front of the wrong person, I'm not going to be that good either. So, and by the way, don't even call yourself a salesperson. Your title should be lighting designer, lighting advisor, lighting guide. Remember, you're a helper, you're a facilitator, you are an advisor, you're a guide. You are not forcing them to want lighting. You are helping them get what they already want. You're helping them make a good decision. So make sure that you understand that before I even give you the 10 steps to successful selling. So, and remember, a bad decision, you're trying to help them make a good decision. A bad decision is for them to say, I want to think about it. That's a terrible decision, right? And it's also a terrible decision for them to say no and then them go with someone else, because now they have to put up with your competition, which you think so poorly of anyway, right? So, number one, the 10 steps to successful selling. Number one, identify your client avatar. Now, most of you are going to just not listen right now and be like, all right, but what's the magic phrase, man? When you get into the magic phrase, again, a client avatar, you have to identify who you want to work for, and I don't want to work for people that want to spend $1,500 on a lighting system. Some people are okay with that. And some people can make a lot of money doing that. That's okay. I don't want to tell you who your ideal client avatar is, but in my world, I was going after clients that wanted to spend between $8,000 and $10,000. And then I had a second client avatar that wanted to spend between $50,000 and $100,000. I had multiple client avatars, but I was only going after certain people. The reason this is important is because your messaging is going to speak right to them, and you're going to you're not even, people are not going to call you because you're going to look too expensive to them, and you're not going to waste your time with some of the tire kickers. Number two, identify your USP, your unique selling proposition. Okay, you got to identify this, because what is unique about you? If you can't think of anything unique about you, then why do you expect your clients to think that you're unique, right? So you have to know what those things are. Number three, mindset. This is huge. I could spend 2 hours on this one thing alone. You need to be convinced of three things. Okay. Number one, they need landscape lighting. If you're not convinced of that, go back to bed. Number two, they need landscape lighting from you. And number three, they need landscape lighting from you today. If you can convince yourself of those three things and go into every appointment with that mindset, I promise you today, just implementing this one thing, your sales are going to increase. Number four, targeted attack. Okay, where's your dream client? Who is already in front of them? Who do they already like and trust? Who is that? Like, give it some thought. Don't just spend the 30 seconds that I am right now talking to you, right? So think referral partners, home builders, landscapers, pool builders, AV companies, all these people that are already in front of your dream client. Targeted direct mail, Google ads. And by the way, don't tell me that Google ads suck. I have had people say, I tried Google ads, they didn't work. It's this exact same. If Google ads are not working for you, it's the same thing I started the show off with. The current problem you're experiencing has nothing to do with what you're doing now. It's all stuff that happened previously. And so when I look at people that aren't having success with Google ads, I look at their landing page. Their landing page is terrible. Sometimes they don't even have a landing page. But if your keywords are not matching your ads and your ads are not matching your landing page, that's one of the reasons Google ads are probably not working for you. But there's several things to look at. But the point is, Google ads work, and you can target them and only go after the highly qualified leads that you want. Number five, pre-qualify. Again, we're already at step 5, and we haven't even talked about selling yet, right? And I thought this was the 10 steps to successful selling. Like, when are you going to say the magic phrase, bro? We're not there yet. Okay, pre-qualify, because there is no magic phrase. I already told you. Pre-qualify. It not only weeds out the tire kickers, but it sets you up for success down the road. And there's about 10 steps to pre-qualifying. Number 6, BRT. Build relationship of trust. I'm not going to go into that, but you need to spend the majority of your time not selling light fixtures, but building a relationship of trust with your client. And this is the first step of being with the client and actually selling, right? Number 7, tie downs. Tie downs, are you with me? Do you know what a tie down is? It's basically a question to get them to say yes, to get used to agreeing with you during that time that you're building a relationship of trust. So are you with me? You are, aren't you? That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Sure would, wouldn't it? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? When discussing maintenance, you could say something like, not having to worry about burned out lamps would be nice, wouldn't it? When you're talking about warranty, you could say, not having to pay for a defective product is pretty nice, isn't it? You could see how having an insured company with 100 5-star reviews is beneficial, isn't it? So those are the little questions at end of statements to get them used to saying our favorite word, which is yes. Okay, YES, baby. Number 8, and we're going fast because I got Tommy. He's probably, I don't even know if he's back there anymore, but he was there earlier. I talked to him previously, but I just don't want him to he's getting old. He might wander off and get lost or something. So I'm trying to hurry because I really am excited to have him on. And that's probably why you guys are all here too. So number 8, yeah, we're going to make him wait in his leaky boat. That's probably where he's out trying to fix the leak. Number 8, we finally get to the sell. Ask for the sell, baby. Most of you guys aren't even asking for the sell. You're like, I'm awesome. Here's why we're so awesome. And we're just awesome. And then you're just looking at them and it's like, okay, just give them an opportunity to say yes. All right. So my favorite is giving them an option. So, all right, based on what we talked about, which of these is going to work best for you, right? And just give them an opportunity to say yes. Most of you are not doing that. And then number 9, overcome objections. That's right. I'm sorry. I hate to say it out loud, but you got to figure out how to overcome objections. And it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be hard. The easiest way to overcome objections is just ask questions and really find out what their real concern is. And we're problem solvers. We're business owners. We know how to solve problems. So just solve the problem at hand. So if they say, well, they need to think about it, that's the number 1 objection, right? Or maybe it's too much money or whatever. But if they're like, hey, we need to think about it. Okay, no worries. What is it that you need to think about it? What is it that you need to think about? That's not a hard question to ask. Just ask on your next sell when someone says they want to think about it. What is it that you want to think about? And I promise you, one of you is going to walk away with a sell because it leads to additional conversation. And before you know it, they close themselves because you've done such a good job with steps 1 through 8. You're good. And then finally, number 10, follow up. Most people forget about this step. They close the deal. They're so happy. They go and spend the money. Forget to order the materials, but hey, at least they got a nice vacation out of it. And you got to follow up. You've got to follow up with a text, an email, voicemail, whatever it is. Let them know that you're grateful to earn your business. You've got them scheduled. Let them know that you haven't forgot about them, that the next step is being taken care of. Let them know what to expect from there. So do that so that they avoid buyer's remorse and they don't sit there at night going, did we just give that guy a check for 10 grand? Who was he? All right. So make sure you follow up. So, and by the way, guys, don't tell me you're not good at any sales because all you have to do is get out in front of people that already want what you have. So that is the key right there. So listen, guys, I'm kind of getting sick of hearing myself listening to myself talk. You might be too. I say we figure out how to get the guest intro going. There it is. Oh man, I love producing my own show. I think it's time. You guys ready? Let's do it. I don't know. Let me figure out how to hit some more buttons. Let's go. What's up, Tommy?
Oh man, it's working this time. I had to take a little nap back there, waiting for my moment.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, man, I feel like I'm talking too much. Tommy might be lost in the Mermaid Acres.
Well, OG, old guy, take naps, right?
And we're starting it off right with some OG jokes.
That's right.
Tommy thought OG meant something else, but he's like, no, I actually am an OG. I'm an old guy.
That's right.
All right, man.
Older
Well,
than most.
I'm grateful for our friendship. We've gotten to know each other pretty good because we've had an opportunity to hang out a couple times over the last year.
Yeah, you make me feel short. But everybody does, so.
Yeah, that's nothing new, right?
Exactly. So what do you think of my new logos?
I love it, man. It's way better than mine.
So
My
lightingsucks.com is going to be the new podcast.
So we talked about that the last time you were on, and I was thinking, oh, the new podcast, in the next, few weeks or something. What happened to that?
Life, business, yeah, a lot of things got in the way.
Okay,
but we're really close. We had to rebuild the room that the studio's in, so that's all done. Got everything back up and running. Now I just got to figure out what we want to do. So.
Well, if it's like how I started mine, it's definitely a ready, fire, aim situation where you just hit record and then you usually play the wrong music at the wrong time and mute the guest's microphone at the wrong time, and you figure it out.
I'm figuring if I just go back and watch your earlier ones, I can learn from all the things you didn't do right. So,
And still now, I mean, season 2, and I'm still making mistakes. Do you think I should adjust the camera angle? Because everybody I meet, they're like, "Oh, wow, you're a lot taller," but maybe that's a good thing,
you are a lot taller than you look out on the screen. You were towering over everybody. I was like, man, is this guy a professional basketball player or what? So,
yeah,
so
I was supposed to be, but then I realized I wasn't very good.
So what are we going to talk about this time?
Well, we're going to talk about you. You're the guest. You are the lighting geek. And, I guess I want to ask you a couple things. At least every time I'm around you, like, we have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
You seem like you're always having a good time. What do you do? What do you do? Or do you do drugs? Like, how do you stay so positive all the time?
Everybody asks me that. They want some of what they think I'm taking, and it's life. That's what it is.
That's it. We can't do like a discount for listeners or something.
Someone told me, or I think I watched a video that, put on by a Navy SEAL. It said, get out of bed 4:30 in the morning, get some stuff done, 4 o'clock, make your bed. And I took that seriously. And so, man, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. Now, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that loud noise you hear in my living room is me snoring on the sofa because it just ran out of gas. But pretty much like this all the time.
Okay. Can I almost forgot. I want to play something. This is a new segment I'm starting today.
Oh, no.
Okay, everyone just be patient for a second. I'm going to figure this out. I'm full screening this. Oh, no. I've already screwed it up. Hold on. Just stay patient with me. I promise you're going to love this, everybody. All right. Okay, are you ready? I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
There's no way you're ready for this.
Probably not.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, no.
Tommy's causing problems again, man.
That always works. This thing weighs a ton.
What is there about getting under ladders? Good luck.
Is it good luck?
Anybody have a hammer?
Action.
Okay.
They just told a dirty joke, and I forgot what I was.
This is a drill.
All right, ready? And go.
All right, so you're probably wondering why you have all those pipes in the backyard sticking
Stop.
straight up. Are you compensating for something? Yeah. Thank you. You're saying that. I'm not understanding what you're saying. I hope you're not afraid of fire. Gee.
Is it gonna work? It hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, I suspect there'll be some adult beverages involved too.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They said that was only the outtakes for 2 episodes out of 20. They said, we have way more material on you than we could ever put in a trailer.
So, how was that experience? Was that pretty fun? Or was it stressful and you thought, crap, why did I do that?
Well, I mean, at the time we weren't working. It was, 708 area, the economy was in the toilet, and a lot of good guys were just standing around. So the timing was right, but we were asked to think out of the box and do things a customer in their right mind would never pay you to do. And, so we got to do that, sit at a table and throw every idea you crossed your mind, and we'd boil it down to a project and do it. And it just, I don't think in my lifetime will ever experience the level of creativity and expertise surrounding you like that. Everybody was very good at what they did. And it was just no competition. It was everybody working for a common goal. And it was very, very rewarding.
That's
not
awesome.
stressful. I mean, it was stressful. Don't get me wrong, but
well, I hear they're not paying you, $50,000 a minute. So
I was lucky to get $200 an episode, and I gave that to the guys. They were helping me.
Well,
But
I love that you did that though. It really, I think, I think it helped the landscape lighting industry for sure. And you know, it put it on the map for sure. And I guess I want to ask you about it. Like you're natural. You're fine being yourself. You're comfortable in your own skin. You joke around. You're yourself. Like how important has that been in your business to just accept who you are and make that part of your brand?
well, I had an identity crisis when I was younger, and that's why I became the lighting geek. I thought my name was Jesus Christ for the longest time because my mom would always flick the back door open and start yelling, Jesus Christ, Tommy, what are you doing? So it kind of led into the lighting geek. But you know, I think that I just had an epiphany one day. I was a little older, and that you always say, what will people think? And I started thinking about who were those people? They're nobody. So we put this demand on ourselves to worry about the reaction of a bunch of imaginary people. So then I realized I don't have to care. And so I could just be me, and that scared the hell out of a lot of people. But, I just don't go around worrying about, I know you have to be kind in life and respectful. But outside of that, I'm relaxed in my own skin.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, you're an example to me for that, and it's something that yeesh, I mean, I didn't really start getting used to that until the past couple of years, and it's still something that's like, like I want to say or do certain things, and I start thinking, oh, what are they gonna think? And it's like you said, like, who are they?
Yeah. Well, and, I just think that once you're comfortable in your own skin and you can joke about yourself, then you become more comfortable around a lot of people, and the people you're around become comfortable with you. And I win the confidence of people fairly quickly when I'm out, looking at a job. And that's really a big part of sales that people don't put enough time and effort. Just get comfortable. Everyone's nervous in the beginning, but eventually you'll get there.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not from falling down. I just saw Bob put up there. He fell down and hurt his wrist. Take it easy on me. No, that is residual damage from doing too much mixed martial arts. So
At the dojo.
Yeah.
So that came from, have you seen Napoleon Dynamite where, it's Rex Kwon Do, break the wrist, walk away?
No, I haven't seen that. But.
Okay. Now we might just actually stop the show and watch that scene right now if I could figure out, because it's amazing. And especially because of your background, you would love it. The guys, Rex Kwon Do, break the wrist, walk away. Break the wrist, walk away. So it looks like someone broke the wrist and walked away. But
yeah, no, I was probably an idiot and I did the damage myself. So,
well, honestly, I mean, I don't know if you were passed out because you woke up at 4 this morning. But when I was starting the show, I was talking about the problems that you're experiencing now really aren't anything now. It's stuff that was from your past. And same thing with your wrist. It's not like you did that today. That was from 20 years ago. And
that's right.
Your martial arts. So, like I said, it applies to anything: your health, your wealth, your love, and your whatever the fourth thing I said. So,
well, for me, it's like it's hard to undo 60 plus years of bad behavior. So right. It's going to come back to haunt you.
Well, I guess let's talk about your bad behavior. I feel like recently you've gone through some pretty big changes in business, and you wouldn't think like someone like yourself, so established and everything else. It's like, I think people from the outside are like, oh man, that guy's he's always had all the answers. He's always got it figured out. But are you okay if we open that up a little bit and
sure.
Talk about some things that you've been doing since last time we talked on here?
Yeah, no problem. The big
Let's
thing
talk
is
about the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, most of it's ugly, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. I'm comfortable with that. When I first got involved with you and a lot of people found out that I was doing that, I got a lot of feedback that they didn't think I needed it. And I said, but I need it more than maybe everyone else, because I have a lot of bad habits and I have a lot of, bad ideas of what should happen and what direction we should go. I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but the more I started studying the things that you were teaching everyone, and it opened my eyes to possibilities I just didn't consider before. So over time, over a year, we basically rebuilt the company from the ground. So we got rid of our software. We went on to House Call Pro. 6 months ago, I fired everybody but my key guy because they couldn't get us where we wanted to go. They were in our way. And they weren't bad people, but they just didn't see the world the same way I did. And therefore, we're combative all the time, arguing over stupid things, couldn't get anything done. So it's amazing when you get the right people, what a difference that makes.
Yeah, that is huge, man. That is like honestly one of the hardest things. I know I've been in that situation where I had people I knew were not the right people. It's not like you said they were bad people. They just weren't the right person. It was the wrong fit.
Exactly.
And it's hard to do that. I mean, that is really hard. And I feel like almost everybody has either been in that situation or they're going to be. How did you do that? Because you've got jobs on the board, you've got a business to run, and you're like, wait, if I fire everybody, then I have to do everything again.
One of the things I've never been afraid of is work. So if it means that I'm being kind of held hostage by attitudes and they think that you won't get rid of them because, of that, I just go through and do what I have to do. And if it means I have to get out there, put my tool belt back on and go do work, I'm willing to do that because my goals are bigger than that. And this last time though, I really changed, and I can't remember where I saw it. It might've been on your show or someplace, but we don't advertise for our employees like we advertise for our customers. And we need to sell the employees for the same thing that we're selling the customers for, the belief and to build a culture. And it's been amazing the way that we went about doing this and the quality of the people that came on board. It was night and day difference. And I've actually gotten to this place where I'm not doing anything at this point but the sales. Whereas before, man, I had, fingers in the dike and nervous that something was going to fall between the cracks. And we're not a terribly small operation, but we're not really big either. So, but it was the best thing I could have done. I did not look forward to doing it when I did it because I knew it was going to mean a lot more work. And, it basically took care of whatever hair was left. So
it gone. Well, it takes incredible courage to do that. And like I said, I've been in the situation where I didn't have the courage. I was like, I'll just keep dealing with the madness. And then it comes to a point where they either quit or get fired anyway. So it's better to be proactive with it. And I like your plan. Like you said, I used to seriously think like, well, it's a job. Like I'm going to pay them money. They're going to be grateful. Like,
right.
I'm awesome. Don't they know that? It's like, no, they don't. They don't know like what opportunity lies ahead. Like you have all this stuff in your head and if they're a performer, they could advance up and it could be a career and all this, but most of us are not selling that. We're good at, we figure out how to sell to our clients, but we don't figure out how to sell to attract those people. So is there anything that you did to attract like these higher quality team members that you now have in place?
Well, I thought about I looked at all the ads and they all looked like, don't you do this, don't you do that, you better be really good at this. And then I'm going to bless you by hiring you. That's how the ads look from the other side of that. So I wrote funny ads, I just said, people want to work in a different environment. They're tired of that. They just want to be respected. They want to be paid relatively what they're worth. And they want to have a sense of a place that they can move up within the company. So I just, I basically said I'd like filing done where it doesn't resemble stone tablets. It was really along those lines. It was not meant to be serious, but the response I got, we couldn't get 3 people to answer the previous ad. I rewrote it and got 75 applicants, and I could have hired, boiling it down to about 10 people, anybody would have hired them. Wow. They didn't fit my thing, but it was incredible. and they wanted the job. I mean, they're like, I am so tired of where I'm at, and this is the kind of attitude I'm looking for. And I just want to work here. This looks like a fun place to work. So it worked. And they still say that after they've been here. That's even better.
Well, the fact that they're still there and talking to you is great.
Yeah. I have to tell them a joke every morning or something to kind of lighten up everything. But I got to tell you, the next thing that we did then getting the people was the training. And I think that, over the years, I put a guy in my truck, drive around, do this, do that. Well, our turnover was so high, I forgot who I trained what. I'd say, go take this stuff and go install it. It goes, what is this? I've never done it. And I go, no, I've shown that to you. No, you haven't, and we end up stuck in this place where all of a sudden now I have to run out and teach them. It doesn't work. So your videos have been a saving grace. The first one, the fundamentals of landscape lighting, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone does two things. They watch the movie The Secret. Everybody thinks I'm weird doing that, but I want that kind of mindset. And they don't get it in the beginning, but it's amazing. About a week later, they start coming back and talking about that. And then the second thing is everyone sits in the office and watches that video before they go in the field. So they now have a good representation of what we do in an overall sense. They know what a transformer is. They know what the lighting, they're not from our industry sometimes. So they hit the ground running. They felt like they were being productive on the first day. And that did a great boost for morale on everyone, and the guy that I keep was key. He believes in everything we're doing, and he is 100% bought in. And so I don't worry about him. He talks to them the same way I would. He'll, correct them on the same things, making sure they understand that that's just not the standards we work by,
Nice.
And doing that consistently, everything comes up.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. You got a guy like that that has your back and can kind of explain it in a different way and stuff like that. And they see him buying in. And if he's buying in, then they're more likely to. So that's awesome, man.
He's funnier than me too. So that helps.
That's very good. Well, I thought you were going to say, I make them watch the movie. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought you were going to say, we make them watch the movie Weekend at Bernie's.
Or Caddyshack or something.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But hey, whatever's working, working.
Well, it works. It's all about, and the thing too is I'm giving them a trade. I'm teaching them something they can make. And the other thing is we had to raise our prices to what we pay the employees. It just, the days of us paying what we were paying are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on Indeed, and, it was saying this big thing came up and said, you are not paying enough money for somehow it said something like that the category that you're looking for workers in, you're underpaying. I'm like, what the heck? I thought I was over anyway. And then I saw it. It took me a minute. I got myself up off the floor and they said I had to charge this much in my market. It was significant more. I'm talking $3 or $4 more an hour than we thought it was worth. But you know what? As soon as we hit it, bam, the people came. So it's kind of a balance of all that. Yeah. We just raised our prices accordingly to compensate for that because we got to make money. We're not gouging anyone, but to get the people in that we want, to build the brand that we want, to the quality, to provide the customer service that we're known for, that's what it's going to take. And so far it's working. I haven't had to get a second job yet. So,
well, I like what you said about the first day, because I know I struggled with this. Mine was the exact same. I'm like, yeah, I know how to train. Just get in my truck. Let's go. And then you don't even know what you trained these guys on half time. And I like the fact, because it's what the saying is, your first impression or what, I don't even know what the saying is. I should have done my research, but what is the saying?
Let me make a note of this for my podcast.
I know. Don't do live podcasts because you can't edit it out in real time.
Right.
Anyway, first impression's worth 1,000 words. I see. Oh gosh, dang it. The picture's worth 1,000 words. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is this. That first day is a huge first impression. Okay. And before I owned my own business, there was really maybe 1 out of 10 jobs that I was like excited about that first day. The other ones I was like, man, am I even going to go back? Like, I don't even want to go back the second day because the first day was so bad and boring and just like, this sucks. I hate my life. I'm a loser. And so I think if we spend more time, and as business owners, we don't want to, because immediately we're like, oh my gosh, I'm paying 25 an hour. And it's like, that's 50,000 a year. And it's like, you think, okay, they got to start making money as soon as they walk in this door. Like, we just have to let that go and realize, no, we have to spend time with them. We have to, just like we have to do with our customers, we have to build a relationship of trust, and we have to get them to buy in. And that's not going to happen by saying, all right, let's go. You guys better make at least, what you're worth today. Like, you got to spend time. Sometimes it's, a couple of weeks, like the bigger companies that aren't like home service companies that have really good culture, some of these software companies and stuff like that, they'll spend 2 weeks building culture, and then they'll give their people an opportunity. I think it was Zappos. They give their employees it's $1,000. I think it's $1,000 or $2,000 bonus if they'll leave. They say, if you want to leave now after the 2 weeks, here's $1,000 or $2,000. And some people take them up on that, and they know, okay, that's not who we wanted. We wanted someone that wanted to be here. So it's crazy stuff. But I think it works, and we're so small in our businesses that we have to get that dollar in the door, that we're just money motivated. And I think by raising your price like you're doing, you're going to be able to afford to pay these people and take the appropriate time to train them. So it's been cool. Like, I see a different personality in you. I see a new energy. And I think that comes from these new hires. You're the culture that you're building.
Well, and I think too that one of the big things I noticed is, as I was being freed up by getting the right people to do the jobs, that I actually had more time to build a business culture. So I'm not so buried into the details of the everyday going ons at the Lighting Geek. I can stand back a minute, see someone over there that needs to maybe get an attaboy or needs a little bit of personal training on something they're working on. I wouldn't have time to see that. So now we're getting even better on top of everything else. I'm able to give them the time.
That's huge. I mean, that is huge. That's awesome, man. Let's switch gears for a minute. You've got the team members in motion, you've got the culture, in motion and working on that. What are you doing for branding?
I thought I knew branding, and then I met this guy, this goofy dude, Dan, whatever his name is, from Kick Charge Creative. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
No, I know, but I put it out there and I asked everybody, hey, here's my van. This is what I want to do. And what do you think? Sometimes you don't expect some things you don't expect coming at you. But I noticed the people who really didn't know us as a company mentioned that they can't read the name. And I've heard that before, but I kind of ignored it. But now I'm like, maybe this is something I need to pay attention to. So, I went through, was going to scrap the whole thing and just do something totally different. And then I plugged in with Dan at Kick Charge Creative. And I think that they have definitely got a different approach. It's disruptive to the industry. So everybody does look. And I think that is key. And, if I really want to get to my goal of, $5 to $10 million in revenue, we're not going to do it doing what we're doing. And that's been proven with employees. We're upgrading the fleet because my trucks have 200,000 miles plus on them. And it just makes sense. We need to practice what we preach. You don't want the gardener doing the lighting, right? We go and say, that's the last thing you want, Mr. Customer, is to have your gardener do your lighting. And then if we want to be a millionaire, we don't go talk to our neighbors, hopefully, because they obviously don't know any more about being a millionaire than you because they're in your neighborhood, right? So here we are trying to rebrand a company. It only makes sense to go find the best branding company in the country, possibly in the world, and use their talents where this is all they do. They live, breathe, eat this stuff 24/7. and it's a mission to them. It's not just a job. And just like it is for us to do a lighting job, we're on a mission once we pull the trigger on a job, and we're all in. So I needed to find someone that had that attitude about branding. So we hired, or on the waiting list, I should say. So we'll find out.
It was a good sign.
What's that?
It's always a good sign. You know, you never want to be like, yeah, we can get it in tomorrow kind of guy.
I honestly think that the number one way you can demonstrate that you are ultimately successful is when people are waiting for your services. They're willing to wait. And it's not necessarily a price driven thing. It's a quality driven thing and reputation. So, unfortunately, I didn't think I was going to have to wait till October 13th to have my first meeting, but it is what it is.
You're right.
So,
I do want the best, but like who else, like who's the number 2 branding company?
I don't even know, but I can tell you that the more I looked into this, the more I realized everybody was copying them.
Yeah.
Nobody was coming up with original ideas. And what I wanted was someone who did the original idea. So, and I guess the other thing behind this is you want to get to a point, according to Dan, and he's right. They're not searching for you on the web by saying landscape lighting in Sacramento. They're just typing your name in because that's your brand. And that is how well you're known. Now, we do get that now, but not near the extent I think we'll get once we get rebranded. And I just think we're going to knock it out of the park and just completely change. And the only thing I'm hoping they doesn't tell me is I need to change my name. He said it was a nice name, so I'm hoping I'm safe there. But everything else is on the table.
You have one of probably the greatest name in the lighting industry. I'm just going to put it out there right now. The greatest name in lighting.
It's memorable.
It's super memorable. I was talking to someone the other day. They were one of our vendors that came on and did a training or whatever. And they were like, oh, I can't remember the name of that company. They're like trying to think. They're like, I can't remember the name. I was asking about which client signed up or something. And like, I don't know, it's like Illuminations or Illuminate or Lighting. Like he goes, the only one I can remember is the Lighting Geek. So
we did accomplish something in life. People remember us. They don't know what we do, but they know my name.
Yeah. Well, okay. I want to stop because you mentioned a couple things.
Okay.
One was the fact that we as lighting professionals, we're like super adamant that only a lighting professional can do lighting, and landscapers suck and electricians suck and all this stuff.
Right.
No offense, Tommy. But like that's the general theme, right? And then when it comes to branding, sales, pricing, marketing, building our website, we're like, oh, I can do it. I'm not going to pay that guy $1,000. I could do that in 14 Saturdays, and it's a good point. Like if we're going to expect others to do it, then we need to heed our own advice and realize that we can't be good at everything. We have literally just a handful of things we're really good at, and the rest needs to be outsourced to the pros. So good point.
It's funny. We all have had the guy that comes and says, I've already bought all the fixtures. I just want you to install them, and it's like us going and buying wrapping material and say, I've already bought everything. Can you wrap my truck? It just doesn't fly. I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, we won't even go do most of the time jobs like that because there's so much more into it and we all know this as to which fixtures to use. So they already got that wrong 90% of the time.
Yep. So,
it's just that part really hit home with me throughout this process between what I learned by being in, landscape lighting secrets and, being involved with Dan and other issues. I've got collaborative pros and just, Slim Jim or whatever, Send Jim, I think it is.
Step into a Slim
Jim. Something Jim, I don't know. But, it's all really realizing that we really have been not doing it right. We need to get the guys, like you just said, the pros at this and cut them loose. And you know what? What if the money you thought you were saving, but let's just say it's half. I got a girl in the office who can do everything that Send Jim does, or I know someone who can do everything Collaborative Pros does, that, the SEO component.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but when they do it, and this is all they do, what if that doubled your income? I mean, we're so fixated on the front end of how much we're spending, we lose track of how much better our company would be or how much more money we would make, and then how much easier it would be on us. Because we're going to trial and error that sucker forever before we figure it out, and maybe never. And here we can hire a guy in whatever realm this is, and they knock it out of the park right away, and we're off and running. That's just kind of the difference I see these days.
Yeah. Well, it's cool to hear you say that, because I don't know. It's like, it's crazy to me that you're so willing to change. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is a midlife crisis. I don't know what's going on, but
I'm
like you
kind of
said,
past the midlife stage, just so you know.
this is like a late life crisis.
I'm way past the midlife part.
It's a late life crisis going on.
Yeah, I had a nightmare, woke up. Yeah.
But like, you know, like you said, like people were like, "Hey, I can't really read your logo," and it's easier to be like, "Well, get glasses or look harder," or like, I don't know,
Well,
like not take that that criticism.
the
And
only reason it worked before is we had it done so big on the trailers, you could see it on the other side of the freeway going the wrong way. So when it's that big, anybody can read it. But I couldn't do that to the truck. So, but yeah, everyone says they preach it every day. Your name should say what you do, right? And your mantra, whatever it is, it very clearly states what you do. And I think we all kind of missed the mark on that. We try to get fancy, and
Right.
I just
But
woke up one night and said, "Oh my God, purveyors of lighting badassery," and just wrote it down next to my bed on a whatever piece of paper was sitting there. And that was the end of that.
I love
So,
it. I love that phrase.
well, we just do something different,
Yeah.
Read the purple cow
Yep.
or the purple cow.
Yeah, it is.
It's all about that kind of concept of being different, standing out.
So how hard is it to hear that though? And you mentioned like you've learned, oh man, I've been doing some things wrong or whatever. Like it's hard. I know that, but how have you overcome that? Like,
Alcohol.
okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Honestly, what it is it really pissed me off when I realized it, because now I've realized I have wasted so much time and effort being headstrong, doing it. I really did think I was doing the right thing, but now I'm realizing, looking around, and it's hard to know too who an expert is that you can trust with this decision, right? It's not like you can just walk out to the first guy. Oh yeah, I design websites. That doesn't mean they're good. Just
Yeah.
like anything else in this world. So once I connected with the right people, I realized some of the stuff I wasn't 100% off, but I was doing 75, and that extra 25% I gained by hiring them was the gas pedal that really pushed it forward. And once I did that a couple times, realizing I'm working way too hard. I need to get smart about this. Now, granted, money is involved and we have to make some money, but I think we just got to prioritize everything and decide where we want to go. What is the most important component? And they can just ask you if they're in your group, and you pretty much can direct them, I would guess, at least in the general area. And then they know where to go spend their time.
Cool.
Or money.
Well, at least Paul's helping me out. Maybe I should have had Paul on the show instead. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. There. Well said. That's what I was going to say earlier.
That's it. See, this is why it says Bonehead after my name, because that's what I realized after I went through all these changes, that, I'm a bonehead. I just didn't realize that I needed to do it, was too stubborn. And that's not to say there's things I still don't want to do, but I need to do. So that's part of growing, right?
Yeah, cool. All right. What are you laughing at?
Bonehead in training.
I just want to be like you when I grow up.
No, that's my line.
Exactly. That's why.
So,
it's like
the other thing I wanted to spend a few minutes on, if we could, is Mermaid Acres.
Yeah, I do. It's on my list.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it.
Crazy, but go ahead.
No, that's on. Let's just skip ahead. Let's do it.
So we live on 2.25 acres in a rural part of town, and I'm a chicken farmer. We have over 100 chickens, which just happened. I don't know how we ended up at 100 chickens. You know, we're like everyone else. We went down and bought the 6 chicks down at the feed store. And next thing I know, I got 100 chickens crowing. They're all over the place. They're definitely free range because you can ask my neighbors, everyone's yard. But
Love you. They love you.
oh yeah. Well, and then we got bees. So now I'm officially a beekeeper. I have 10 hives on the property. And I don't know what it is, but our honey is very different than anything anyone's had. And it has to do with, we have a lot of eucalyptus around, a lot of wildflower. So it's like this blend of everything. So we're doing that. But when COVID came and we couldn't work, we decided, you know, what are we going to do? Because we kind of shut down to less than part-time. So my wife and I had talked about, you know, doing something with the property. Honestly, it was dirt when I started. In the COVID time, we hadn't done anything. So we basically gutted the whole yard and came up with a plan from a friend of mine that's an architect, and then just kind of the layout changed. But, you know, we basically started with that kind of footprint. And then, you know, we had 20 concrete trucks come in, and we laid out over 120 yards of concrete. We put in it. The premise of this is it's a Caribbean fishing village.
Mhm.
So my wife and I are avid scuba divers. So we spent a lot of time in the Caribbean, and we just wanted to create a place where we could go be in the Caribbean in a couple minutes. So everything we did was like it would be in our minds. And I'm sure that's not exactly in the Caribbean. So our concrete is sand finish. So it looks like it's dark brown sand. So it looks like sandstone.
Nice.
So closer to what you might find. We have a wrecked boat. It's a water feature. And we put sails overhead for shade. And we have 2 big islands for serving food. We have a 50-foot picnic table with a bunch of eclectic chandeliers going down the center that we got at thrift stores, because in the Caribbean, they don't have money, so they kind of get by with what they can afford in some cases. So we try to mimic that. And nothing here is perfect. We actually asked them to kind of screw up a little bit to make it feel real, you know? So when something didn't go right, we're like, I know this upsets you, but it's okay. To them, right? They wanted to tear it out and fix it. I'm like, no, it's okay. So we put a bar in. The property is called Mermaid Acres, obviously. The bar is called Sebastian's Dive Bar. I named it Sebastian's Dive Bar because he has to put up with them bitches all the time and deserves a drink or a bar named after him. So we named it Sebastian's Dive Bar. So
I've seen like the walkthrough and stuff.
oh yeah, there I was going to say, if you haven't, my
Is it on
my personal Facebook page.
Yeah, just on Facebook, right?
I don't know if I put it on the company one or not. So, but I can easily throw it up there so you can take a look. But anybody can go to Tommy Herren. I've got a little quick, and that's a quarter of the space. So I know it's
dang impressive.
It's a labor of love. So
is it just so like when I come into town, like I have a place to hang out, or are we going to do some like lighting parties there? Like what is this venue for?
Well, the venue, we started out with it being a showroom for the company. This is, you know, we're no longer doing the installs, but I used to worked my way from the bottom up to general superintendent for large landscape companies. So I'm very familiar with all the things we needed to do. So we did everything in-house, the concrete, everything. And so we created this environment, and then we could showcase the sound systems from True Audio that we install. We have 2 completely separate stereo systems. One are the 360-degree speakers, and they're on their own amplifier. And those, we only have lapping waves and seagulls as background kind of ambiance. So that's playing all the time.
Oh, really?
And then there's 16 speakers, 3 12-inch subs throughout the property that play the music when that happens. So, and then we did, we're Lutron pros. So the whole property, the whole 2 acres is controlled by Lutron Radio Raw.
Nice.
So we can bring people here and say, I can do a small scale, show them one intimate setting, and this is what it would feel like, or we can look at the whole property, and we're capable of doing any of that. So everything we do, the lighting is going in now, actually. So we're implementing more and more and more. It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, it's an impressive property. I think, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to do some type of a lighting event out there. It sounds like.
Well, we designed it to be a training facility for our guys. They can go, we'll pull all the switches out of the wall and erase the program. They go install Lutron. It's safer to do it here. And then if they screw it up, we can figure out what happened and then fix it. Same with the lighting. Like, I need some power run from the house. So the guys, I train them. I'm an electrician. So we'll take them into the house, show them how to poke through the wall and properly add a box on the outside of the house. So we actually use it that way. But I really envision us having, I wouldn't say large groups, but a robust group of lighting guys looking for advanced training on something like that. I just haven't gotten to a place where we could move forward on that, but that's kind of one of the things too that we want to do.
Cool. That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on that. I mean, congratulations to your success, man. It's been awesome to just see the changes that you've made and being willing to change, and me to give advice and for you to go, okay, I'll try it. And when you could say, dude, do you know how long I've been doing lighting? You know? So it's been awesome.
You know, the key to all this, one of the measurements I can look at is this year, April is double of last year's April.
That's
and
awesome,
to me,
man.
that's the changes we made. It's all the commitment to different things and doing what we're supposed to do. So it does work. It just takes, you have to be fearless. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
If you're not fearless and you're in business for yourself, you got a little rough road ahead of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to ask you for any advice. Is that the advice before we wrap it up?
I would say being fearless it's the one thing a lot of people say about me. I am the guy that will go, never having done an application of fixture installation or otherwise. I act as if we get it done. And when I tell a customer that's the first time I've ever done that, they just look at me like, you're kidding me, right? And I'm like, no, I'm just not. I've been doing enough of this. It just gets you to a level of fearlessness. And I think that's something as a business owner, you just need. You got to be smart, but you got to be fearless. You have to be able to step out of your comfort zone all the time.
Love that. Well said, my friend. It takes courage to be a leader. It takes courage to be successful. So if you guys want to be like Tommy when you grow up like me, then become fearless. So thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on here. Oh,
My pleasure.
But thanks for taking the time, man. That was fun.
We'll do it again.
All right. Sounds good. You guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to go email Tom G at emeryallen.com for 10% off. See ya.